Hey, what's up? It's Tati and it's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. AEW Dynamite. This was a great episode, and let me just say it right now. The show did not start off with Tony Khan announcement, which is what I was expecting. Tony basically said, you motherfuckers are going to have to watch the whole show in order to hear what I have to say. However, we started off the night with a excellent match between Wheeler Yuta and Orange Cassidy for the All-Atlantic Championship match. This was a excellent match. I really did enjoy it. I know sometimes people do not take Orange Cassidy serious. You know, he's always doing his like lazy wrestler gimmick thing in the ring, and sometimes it's entertaining and sometimes I'm over it, but everything really worked out here tonight. We do have Wheeler Yuta, for whatever reason, seemed to be hesitant in the ring against Orange Cassidy, like towards like the beginning of the match, possibly because they have history of being friends. Claudio Castagnoli actually comes out and slaps the shit out of Wheeler Yuta and tell him to get it together and stop hesitating and whoop his ass. So Wheeler Yuta gets back in the ring, and that's when the aggression is turned all the way up. People actually started booing Wheeler Yuta, and like, for me, I don't look at a Blackpool Combat Club as heel or baby faces. To me, I feel like they're pretty much neutral. Sometimes we do get people booing Jon Moxley, and then people are cheering for them. But in this match, we do get to see a little bit more aggression from Orange Cassidy. So we get to see him a little bit, you know, in a different light. And I do think that that really helped. Some people probably change their perspective about him. However, you already know Orange Cassidy ends up retaining the title. I did not expect for it to change hands. It's too close to the pay-per-view for them to be doing that at this point. However, I don't think that there are issues with the Blackpool Combat Club. I just feel like they had Claudio come out and kind of be more of like a supportive role. Sometimes when it comes to men, they're not like women where they're like holding your hand and telling you what to do. They'll yell at you. They'll be more aggressive and try to motivate you in doing something. So I think what they're trying to do is show that Claudio is more of a supportive friend than what Orange Cassidy was for him. And I don't know where they're going to go with this, but that title, the All-Atlantic title, better be on the line at the Revolution pay-per-view. So up next, we had a segment with Ricky Starks and Chris Jericho. And let me just put it this way. It was for over 10 minutes. That is way too long. I thought it dragged out a little bit longer than it should have. Ricky Starks, he wants to go against Chris Jericho at the Revolution pay-per-view. Chris Jericho obviously being the heel here and not wanting that to happen. So Ricky issues a open challenge for anyone to have a match with him at Revolution. And Chris Jericho comes out, and you know, he's talking or whatever. In the middle of him talking, we have Peter Avalon, his music hits and he's running out so he can go issue this challenge against Ricky Starks. However, Chris Jericho hits him with a Judas Effect with this crazy jacket with like a whole bunch of spikes on it, so that looks like it really hurts. Anyway, 10 minutes is just way too long. He ends up getting Jericho to sign a contract for not only for them to go against each other at Revolution, but JS cannot, you know, get involved in any type of way. Ricky looks like he might have something up his sleeve. However, Chris Jericho always has something up his sleeves as well. Just because, you know, JS cannot interrupt this match does not mean that anyone can assist Chris Jericho. So I'm interested to see where the whole thing goes with this match. However, the storyline better end right there. Whatever happens that night, I don't want to see Ricky Starks wasting any more time with JS. This guy is supposed to be going towards gold right now. I don't like this whole thing. I can't wait to see this match and for them to be over with the storyline. Up next, we had tag team action with the Acclaimed versus Big Bill and Lee Moriarty. I have no complaints about the in-ring work here. My complaint is about the guns. They are getting involved every time we see the Acclaimed. Something about this storyline has already fallen flat. where it's not so interesting. And I think part of it feels like the Acclaim lost the title prematurely. If anything, maybe they should have waited into the Evolution pay-per-view. Something about it just don't feel right now. I did enjoy the tag team match. One thing I can complain about with AEW is that, you know, less interruptions is okay. That would be alright. I would not have mind, and I would have really enjoyed this match more had there were no interruptions. However, the Acclaim end up taking this win. And you know what? I like the Firm. They actually have a great wrestler as part of their faction. I would love to see them win more often, and not just on Dark and Elevation. I think it's a little bit of a waste with some really great talent, but hopefully in the long run this all plays off. I do not really care for this whole storyline with the Guns and Daddy Ass and whatnot. Hopefully at the pay-per-view, maybe the Guns will drop the title to any one of those other teams and they can just repackage them some type of way. I don't know. I'm over it. So right after that, we have Tony Schiavone calls out Christian for him to do his little interview. And before Christian can even come out, Jungle Boy attacks him. And after a little bit of him attacking him, he kind of signals like he's going to leave or whatnot. But Jungle Boy comes back with 2 chairs in hand. He lays one chair flat on the ground and put Christian on top of that chair while he holds the other chair. I guess it's sort of like him going to give Christian a concerto while he's laying down. So now he's holding on the chair and he's hesitating and he's thinking about it. It's like he doesn't want to do it, but he wants to do it. And while he's wasting time thinking about what he wants to do, then Christian goes for a low blow, and then from there Christian was in control and ends up attacking Jungle Boy to the point that he was bleeding after slamming his head onto the chair several times. It looks like we're probably going to see these two go at it at the Revolution pay-per-view, and to be completely honest, it kind of feels like this is happening really quick since Christian just came back last week. Even though this is a storyline that started long ago, Christian being gone for quite some time with his injury, it kind of seemed like people probably forgot about all this going on, and now they're picking up from where they're left off from. So I wouldn't be surprised if this would be on the pay-per-view. I love Christian, so I would like to see him beat Jungle Boy, but since they're kind of packaging Jungle Boy to, you know, on the path of getting some gold, I would not be surprised if Jungle Boy ends up taking a win. So we'll find out if they will be going each other at Revolution. Up next is Saraya versus Sky Blue. First thing I want to say is I do see improvement with both of these girls. Sky Blue, she's doing, you know, better. She's improving every week. And then we have Saraya, who seems to be more comfortable. I think other than her debut match, this was the first time we got to see her on a one-on-one contest. So she seemed to be more comfortable in the ring, especially on her own. This match, it wasn't so bad. The only issue here is, once again, we have interference with Toni Storm, and this whole Outsiders versus AEW girls is playing into these matches, and I just want to see some good matches. Sometimes I don't care about, you know, the storyline or whatever, especially when it's not interesting. This right here, I don't think it's a positive storyline for AEW to have, period. Like, you got these girls, y'all should be focusing on other things, not based on who was famous before AEW. I think it's a whole bunch of bullshit. But anyway, Saraya does end up winning this match via submission, but I just feel like they're playing a little bit too much into this storyline with every single match. They go and try to spray paint Sky Blue, and Jamie Hayter and Britt comes out to help, and the girls run out the ring. Then Ruby Soho comes out. Ruby's like, fuck all this, Jamie, I want the title. So now you have Jamie who wants the title. Now you have Ruby Soho who wants the title. And it's like, okay, that's great. Y'all should just probably wrap this storyline up or whatever. It's just so annoying. But the match was okay. I don't have too much to complain about it. It's the storyline. You guys already know it is not interesting. Up next, we have Bryan Danielson, who come out to the ring, and you know what? He is ready for Revolution. We also have MJF, who comes out, and boy, he really got Bryan worked up once he decides to mention his children, basically saying, your dad's gonna get his ass whooped and whatnot. And Bryan, when you're a parent, you're not going to want to hear nobody mention your kids. So that obviously got him worked up. And these two start scrapping in the ring. And I'm like, you know what? A pay-per-view is about 2 weeks away. I'm okay with this. But you already know security was on guard. They came running out to come help. Some referees came out. And sometimes it's like, let them fight. I want to see them fight. Even if it's for a whole solid 2 minutes, then y'all can go ahead and get involved. It kept going back and forth. And you know how it is. You have like 10 men holding each guy back. And for whatever reason, these guys are mad enough to get through all these guys and start fighting again. I really did enjoy this segment. I am so pumped for the Revolution pay-per-view with these two guys. Iron Man match, I do feel like it's a way to go, so I'm excited and I can't wait for that. That's the most solid storyline that they got going on right now. And every time these two come in the ring, whether they're just talking or if they're fighting each other or others, they do a really great job. So AEW is definitely doing a great job with this storyline. Can't wait to see the pay-per-view. Up next, we had the Revolution Tag Team Battle Royale, and oh my god, this was like one of the messiest things I've seen in a long time. There was just so much going on, and when I say so much going on, it's not necessarily meaning the teams itself. It's other people being involved that made this like a whole clusterfuck where it's like, holy shit, there's so much going on. Sometimes we saw teams fighting outside the ring. And when it comes to these battle royales, you have to be in the ring and you have to be thrown over the rope in order to be eliminated. But some of these teams, for whatever reason at the beginning, just stayed outside of the ring and just going at it. And I just thought, wow, like what the hell is going on here? I wanted Aussie Open to win this. I know it seemed a little bit random, like they just got here, why should they win this? Why not? They're great in the ring. I don't have any issues with them. Unfortunately, I just felt like this just was all over the place. We did have Mark Briscoe who came out and he went after Mark Sterling. I wouldn't say that's random, but I just felt like that's just another thing that's just happening. We had Danhausen there. We had Satnam Singh who was helping Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett the whole way. It was just so much going on that it was hard to really focus on what exactly was happening. Either way, unfortunately, we had Trent Beretta in the ring with Jeff and Jay Lethal, and unfortunately Jeff and Jay Lethal ends up winning. And the reason why I say unfortunately is because I said it like last week and even the week before that I don't want to see Jeff Jarrett or Jay Lethal anywhere near the Acclaim. Like, I'm so tired of seeing these combinations. I just don't want to see it anymore. And it happened to be them to win. It could have been someone else. Matter of fact, I would have taken Top Flight. They've been doing really, really well in the ring. I'm pretty sure they're not going to be winning any trios gold late at all in the future. So I figured maybe they'll go for the tag titles, and unfortunately they were not the ones to win. I do not recommend watching this because I think it was just all over the place, and because of that it just was not enjoyable. So next we had Tony Khan's announcement. You guys ready for it? Oh my god. So Tony Khan comes out and he actually just say, well, here's Adam Cole to deliver the announcement. Like, bro, what the hell? So Adam Cole comes out and he just announced that AEW has a new show coming on at on Wednesday nights after Dynamite called All Access, where you get basically like a behind the scenes look at AEW wrestlers. And also on that day that the show debuts, he will be coming back in the ring with a match. So you know, every week he's been coming out talking about he don't know when he gonna come out. This I'm coming. Oh shit, that doesn't sound right. Every week he's saying like he's coming back to the ring, he just don't know when. We didn't even need to hear you say that every week, you know what I mean? And now he just confirmed that when that show comes out, which is going to be, I guess, the first Wednesday of March, is when he'll have his first match. And then later on that night, the AEW All Access show will come out. And to be honest, this was so underwhelming. Y'all could have tweeted this. Like, this is not something for people to just be waiting the whole show to hear about. I was hoping to hear something about the Forbidden Door or anything else. Shit, if y'all said that, hey, Rampage is gonna have an extra hour, I'll take that. Y'all could really use that extra hour. But the announcement was underwhelming to me, but I will be watching the show regardless. Let's get to the main event. Jon Moxley versus Evil Uno. Alright y'all, it's main event time, and it's 9:52 is when the bell rung, and I'm just like, holy shit, this better not be a squash match. So for this match, if Jon Moxley won, that would be his 100th win, and he will be the first person on their roster to achieve that. So I kind of figured, he's gonna win this. And honestly, I didn't take Evil Uno seriously, so definitely he was gonna win. I think anybody seeing a graphic of Jon Moxley and Evil Uno, they would just laugh, you know. And unfortunately, that's because that's the cards they've been dealt with. That's how the Dark Order's been like. People just don't take them so seriously, even though they really like them. However, this match really made me see Evil Uno in a different light. He came out hungry and aggressive, and I love it. Was this the best match ever? No. However, I do feel like this was the right step in a direction for not just Evil Uno, but for the Dark Order to take and to be taken more seriously. We really got to see him be aggressive. He was hanging in the ring with Jon Moxley, you know. He was bleeding. Oh my god, Jon Moxley was trying to rip his mask open. I'm telling you, Evil Uno was leaking like crazy. The ring was bloody. Everywhere was just full of blood. Jon Moxley bleeding as well. I did enjoy this. However, we got to see more of Moxley as a heel. Obviously, Evil Uno being, you know, one of the top baby faces and whatnot. Everybody loves the Dark Order. But I just feel like he did a really great job at making people probably look at him in a different light and taking him seriously. I want to see that with the rest of the members of the Dark Order, because you saw how it was when Preston left. Now he's part of LFI with Roosh, and I see him in a different light as well. Sometimes you got to be aggressive. Sometimes you got to be, you know, out of your comfort zone before people can really take you seriously. And tonight was that night where I really got to see another side of Evil Uno. You already know Jon Moxley ended up winning this, so this is his 100th win in AEW. Jon Moxley starts hitting Evil Uno still even after the match. Then we have Dark Order come out and they're attacking Jon Moxley, and then we have Wheeler Yuta and Claudio come out and they're attacking the Dark Order. Then okay, we have Hangman comes out and he's attacking Jon Moxley. Like, Jon Moxley just went through a brutal match with Evil Uno, and you think you all that coming out there to, you know, hitting on Jon Moxley? Come on now. At this point, Jon Moxley is tired as hell. And right before he can deliver a buckshot lariat, Jon Moxley rolled out the ring. And the last thing we saw was Jon Moxley bloody ass face. This was a great episode. I don't mind it. I think it's better than last week. They're in a better they're looking better going into this pay-per-view. We still have 2 more Dynamites before the pay-per-view, so things need to pick up from here to get people pumped and buying that pay-per-view. So for Rampage, we do have the Young Bucks versus Aussie Open, so I am excited to see that. Guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I will be back on Friday with the review for Rampage.